Can trauma from decades ago still be driving your pain today? Can emotions you never processed be stored in your tissues, creating inflammation right now? And can your body be stuck protecting you from a danger that no longer exists? Well, the answer to all three is yes. And it's not because your body's broken. It's actually because your nervous system is doing its best to keep you safe. This is what the mind-body connection actually is, because most doctors treat pain as if it's only physical. My name is Nancy Ma, and I'm a physiotherapist and autoimmune freedom coach. And for 20 years, I've helped women heal from chronic pain and fatigue. And if there's anything I've learned, it's this. Pain is not the enemy. It's a signal. It's your body's way of protecting you and keeping you safe. And your body won't let go of pain, inflammation, or exhaustion until your nervous system finally feels safe. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how the mind-body connection works, why your pain won't release, and the first step to help your body feel safe enough to heal. So let's talk about what the mind-body connection actually is, because I know that's a term that everybody uses. Most people think it's either something spiritual or that it means your pain is all in your head. Well, it's neither. Here's what's really happening. Your nervous system creates what I call bookmarks at moments of fear, stress, or emotional impact. And I'm not just talking about big, obvious trauma. I'm talking about simple things like the argument you had with your partner 5 years ago, the time you felt invisible as a child, the moment someone said something that made you feel like you weren't good enough. Your nervous system records each and every one of these small moments, and they get stored as bookmarks, something to pay attention to. And every time something even slightly similar happens, you hear similar words or tone, or you're in a similar environment, even decades later, your body opens right back to that page. So I had a client who got really anxious before she was about to do a presentation at work, because one time after a presentation, her boss said to her, "That was a really bad presentation. I'm really disappointed in you." Even though she had done dozens of presentations before, that one little criticism, it felt like a big traumatic experience for her. And she had to do some work to rewrite that story so that her nervous system would feel safe enough to do more presentations. And that's exactly what bookmarks do. They keep your nervous system stuck in survival mode, creating symptoms in your body today from pain that happened years ago. And most treatments try to fix the pain without removing the bookmark. They treat the symptom while your nervous system is still stuck on a page from 10, 20, or even 30 years ago. And until that bookmark is released, your body will keep creating symptoms to protect you from a danger that no longer exists. But it does feel real in your body. So those symptoms do exist. It's just that threat, in that case I just shared with you, that criticism happened years ago, but her body still held on to that memory. And so whenever she had to prepare for a presentation, her body tensed up. And whenever she thought about work, she would get really anxious until she had to deal with it because she knew she couldn't function at her best. So let's talk about why your body won't heal until it feels safe. Now, this is the missing piece. Here's the truth that changes everything. Now, when I talk about safety, I don't just mean physically safe, and I don't mean just mentally safe. I mean safety in your entire being, your nervous system at a mind, body, and energetic level. You need to receive a signal that the danger is over. So whatever that threat is, whatever that fear is that's keeping you anxious, that's keeping you up at night, there has to be some sort of signal that says, okay, you're safe. You can rest. You can calm your mind. You can relax your body, and you can feel calm in the moment. So now, anytime you have a fearful or anxious thought, even without your awareness, your nervous system activates a fight or flight response. This is what a survival mode response is. So whenever you're worried you won't make it in time, or you're bracing for an argument with your partner, or you're afraid that you will look like a failure at work, or you're scared of being judged based on what you've experienced in the past. These things aren't happening now in this moment, but your nervous system has bookmarked those times, and it braces for it, and it anticipates it in the future, and therefore your body feels tense in the moment, even though the event isn't happening in the moment. So when your nervous system is perpetually stuck in survival mode, your body prioritizes protection over healing. You can't protect and heal at the same time. So when your body is in fight or flight mode, blood flow gets redirected away from digestion, your immune system gets confused and starts attacking anything that feels like a threat, and sometimes and often even your own cells. Inflammation rises, repair shuts down, and this is why you can eat perfectly, take all the supplements, do everything right, and still have flare-ups and pain, because the inflammation isn't coming from food, it's coming from a nervous system that doesn't doesn't feel safe. Now think about it like this. If you're running away from a tiger, your body doesn't care about digesting your lunch or repairing tissues. It only cares about running away from the tiger to keep you alive. And for so many women, especially women who've been the strong one their whole life, your nervous system has been running from that tiger for years, maybe decades. And you wake up feeling like you're being chased with your heart racing and you can't relax without feeling guilty. You push through exhaustion because that's what you've always done. And your body is screaming at you through symptoms. The fatigue, the pain, the inflammation, saying, please stop. I don't feel safe. This is why rest alone doesn't work. You can sleep 10 hours and still wake up exhausted because your nervous system is still on guard. Safety isn't just lying down. It's not just taking a day off. Safety is a signal your nervous system needs to receive that says the danger is gone. You can let go now. And until your body gets that signal, it will keep holding onto pain, tension, and inflammation as protection. I understand that there are sometimes real concerns or worries you might have. And so let's say you have to pay a bill that you don't currently have the funds for. That's a real thing that you have to deal with. But in this moment, when you don't have to pay it, you have to learn to communicate with your body saying, in this moment, I am safe. In this moment, I don't have to pay that bill. No one's going to take away my power right now. And if it is that moment, then you go and you solve that problem. Let's say you were running away from the tiger and then you found a hiding spot and the tiger couldn't find you. You know that the tiger might be lurking one day out there in the forest. For now, you're safe. For now, breathe. And then when the tiger comes back, we can deal with it when the tiger is back instead of spending every moment when the tiger isn't there still feeling like you're being chased. Now, I hope that makes sense. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you have the tools to actually apply this. Because understanding the mind-body connection is one thing. Knowing what your body specifically needs is another. And that's why I created the free inflammation indicator test. It only takes a few minutes and it identifies your specific mind, body, and energy inflammation triggers and gives you a personalized action plan. So grab it in the description below. Let's talk about the 3 layers where your body stores pain. Because if you only address one layer, you'll stay stuck. You need to address all 3. So the first layer is the physical body. This is what you can see and feel: the chronic tension, the pain, the inflammation, the fascia, the connective tissue wrapping each muscle and organ. It also holds emotional memory. So when you suppress emotions, that energy gets stored in your fascia like shrink wrap. It tightens, it restricts, and it creates physical symptoms. This is why you can have shoulder pain that no amount of massage fully releases. It's not just a tight muscle, it's stored emotions. And in fact, we also store a lot of our emotions in our organs. So in Vietnamese, which is the language I speak, we refer to organs as the feeling organs. So this is where you feel things. And this is why in traditional Chinese medicine, we say liver is where we store anger, for example, because it's not just an organ that helps us detoxify, it also helps us feel and store and process the emotion of anger. Let's talk about the second layer, the emotional body. This is what you've likely been avoiding. The grief that you didn't have time to feel, the anger that you couldn't express, the fear you pushed down because you had to keep functioning. Those emotions didn't disappear. They get stored in your nervous system, again, as bookmarks. And every time you suppress an emotion, you teach your body that it's not safe to feel. So your body creates symptoms to force you to stop and pay attention. So the flare after a stressful week, the gut issues around certain people, these aren't random. They're your body saying, you didn't process what just happened, so I'm going to make you feel it physically. Now, here's the third layer, and this is the one that most people miss. This is about whether you are living in alignment with your truth or living by obligation. So every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you silence yourself to keep the peace, every time you live by should instead of desire, or every time you follow other people's expectations of you instead of following your own heart, your body registers that as rejection or betrayal. And it will keep creating symptoms like pain and inflammation and brain fog and fatigue until you start living in alignment with who you really are. Now, all these 3 layers are connected: the physical layer, the emotional layer, and the energetic layer. You can't fix the physical without addressing the emotional and the energetic. And this is why the mind-body connection is so powerful, because when you understand all 3 layers, you can finally address the root cause instead of just managing symptoms. And this is what I want you to leave this video with. Your pain is not the enemy. It's just your body's way of communicating with you. It's actually been protecting you this whole time. And you might not have realized this, but by trying to silence your pain, trying to fix your pain, trying to suppress your pain, you're actually resisting your own healing. And if you've been holding on to memories that you haven't dealt with, or if you've been living in survival mode and you're not living in alignment with your true self, where you're following your own dreams, goals, and desires, this is your nervous system's way of keeping you safe from danger that no longer exists. And once you understand that, healing becomes possible. So if you're ready to decode what your body specifically needs, I'm offering a free energy activation call with my team. And on this call, we'll map out exactly what's keeping your nervous system stuck and what the next best step is for you to feel safe so you can heal. So the link is in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video or resonated with even just a bit of it, please subscribe if you want to keep learning how to listen to your body. I'm here every week with tools to help you heal from the inside out. Remember, your body isn't your enemy, it's your most loyal protector. So until the next video, I appreciate you and I'll see you soon.